the Imperial Armada materialized in Earth's orbit without warning. Across the globe, news networks scrambled to report the unprecedented event. The familiar blue of Earth was now overshadowed by a menacing fleet of colossal alien warships, their dark silhouettes dominating the skies. Panic erupted in cities as people rushed to safety, their lives upended in an instant. Governments declared states of emergency, and military forces mobilized with uncharacteristic urgency. The sight of these enormous ships, their hulls gleaming with alien technology, sparked a profound sense of dread. In the midst of this chaos, the Imperial Armada's technology became a focal point of fear and fascination. The fleet, composed of sleek, heavily armed vessels, was unlike anything humanity had ever seen. Their energy shields shimmered with an otherworldly light, and their weaponry appeared both highly advanced and devastating. The Armada's power was palpable, a stark reminder of humanity's vulnerability in the face of such an overwhelming force. As the reality of the threat sank in, key figures in the human defense effort stepped into the spotlight. Military leaders, including General Roberts and Admiral Lee, convened in secret to discuss their response. Scientists like Dr. Elena Hart and engineers such as David Miller were brought in to assess the technological gap between Earth and the invaders. Civilians, too, were thrust into the spotlight, their stories of bravery and fear shaping the public's understanding of the crisis. The Armada's demands were delivered with cold precision. Earth was to surrender unconditionally or face complete annihilation. The ultimatum was clear and uncompromising, and it set the stage for a critical debate among world leaders. In tense meetings and urgent conferences, leaders weighed their options, grappling with the gravity of the situation. Some advocated immediate surrender to prevent unnecessary loss of life, while others called for defiance, arguing that humanity's spirit and resourcefulness could turn the tide. Amidst the turmoil, preparations for Earth's defense reached a fever pitch. Governments mobilized their military forces, and civilians were urged to evacuate key areas. The development of new defense strategies became a priority as scientists and engineers worked around the clock to adapt existing technologies and develop countermeasures against the alien threat. The atmosphere was charged with a mix of determination and anxiety as troops trained intensively and communities banded together in the face of the impending invasion. Initial skirmishes between the human forces and the Imperial Armada began as the alien ships deployed their advanced weaponry. Despite being outgunned and outmatched, human forces exhibited unexpected resilience. Tactical ingenuity and the use of newly developed technologies allowed them to achieve some early successes, though not without significant losses. These initial encounters set the stage for a protracted and high-stakes conflict, highlighting both the challenges and the potential for human triumph in the face of overwhelming odds. Human forces swiftly shifted from defense to counteroffensive, deploying tactics that showcased their adaptability and ingenuity. Military strategies evolved rapidly as new technologies were introduced. Advanced missile systems, agile drone fleets, and laser-based defense grids were employed to challenge the Imperial Armada's dominance. Command centers coordinated complex operations, using real-time data to launch precision strikes against the enemy's weak points. These innovations disrupted the Armada's plans and allowed human forces to establish a foothold in the conflict. Critical technological breakthroughs emerged, marking a turning point in the battle. New energy shields developed from experimental research were deployed, effectively neutralizing the Armada's energy weapons. Enhanced stealth technology, originally intended for reconnaissance, was repurposed for offensive operations, allowing human ships to penetrate enemy lines undetected. Additionally, creative tactics such as bait-and-switch maneuvers and coordinated multi-front attacks caught the Armada off guard, demonstrating human resourcefulness and tactical adaptability. In several key battles, human forces began to gain the upper hand. The tides turned as they implemented new strategies and technologies with increasing effectiveness. The resilience of individual soldiers and commanders became apparent as they faced the enemy with unprecedented bravery and tactical acumen. Moments of personal heroism, such as a lone pilot's daring assault on a heavily defended enemy cruiser, illustrated the strength of human resolve and the impact of their innovations on the battlefield. The Imperial Armada's response was one of confusion and frustration. Their initial superiority was challenged by the unexpected resilience of human forces. The Armada's command struggled to adapt to the unforeseen tactics and technologies that were disrupting their strategies. Internal discussions among the Armada's leaders reflected a growing concern as they grappled with how to counter the newly discovered strengths of their opponents. This uncertainty further compounded their difficulties and exacerbated their setbacks. As the battle intensified, additional human reinforcements and resources arrived, bolstering the defense effort. New troops, advanced equipment, and vital supplies were integrated into the ongoing conflict, amplifying the effectiveness of the human response. The influx of reinforcements not only strengthened the military capabilities, but also lifted the morale of human forces. Determined and unified, they pressed their advantage, driven by the momentum of their recent successes and a renewed sense of purpose in their fight against the Imperial Armada. Amid the successes against the Imperial Armada, troubling signs began to emerge within the human command structure. Unexplained equipment failures, strategic errors, and coordinated intelligence leaks started to undermine the military's efforts. Senior officers noted discrepancies in the deployment of forces and unexpected disruptions during crucial operations. Suspicion grew among key leaders as they pieced together these anomalies, questioning whether there was an internal factor contributing to the mounting challenges. The situation escalated when a covert investigation uncovered a high-ranking official secretly working with the Imperial Armada. The betrayal was exposed through intercepted communications and a trail of evidence linking the official to the enemy. Detailed revelations of the betrayal included the deliberate sabotage of military equipment and the leaking of critical tactical information. This treachery had significant implications, weakening the human defense at a pivotal moment, and placing the fate of the ongoing battle in jeopardy. The immediate impact of the betrayal was severe. The compromised strategies and sabotage systems caused chaos and confusion among human forces, leading to a series of setbacks in their operations. Troops faced unexpected vulnerabilities, and key defensive positions were compromised, causing further disarray within the ranks. The betrayal not only hindered military effectiveness but also eroded trust among the leadership and troops, exacerbating the challenges of the conflict. In response to the crisis, loyal human forces undertook a determined effort to regain control. Rapid adjustments were made to counteract the damage caused by the betrayal. Leadership stepped up with renewed resolve, working tirelessly to address the disruptions and rebuild trust among the ranks. Acts of bravery and decisive actions by key characters highlighted the strength and unity of those committed to defending Earth, even in the face of internal treachery. The decisive moment came when human forces regrouped and refocused their efforts against both the Imperial Armada and the internal betrayal. Rallying cries and renewed commitment solidified their resolve to overcome the dual threats. The reaffirmation of their mission to protect Earth galvanized the troops, setting the stage for a renewed and intensified offensive against the remaining enemy forces. As the final confrontation approached, meticulous planning for the decisive battle began. Military leaders and strategists coordinated across branches and allied forces to develop a comprehensive plan. The strategy focused on leveraging the recent technological advancements and tactical innovations to exploit the weaknesses of the Imperial Armada. Detailed blueprints and synchronized operations were prepared, ensuring that every unit, from ground troops to space fighters, was aligned with the overarching plan. The coordination involved intricate communication networks and real-time adjustments to respond to the evolving battlefield dynamics. The climactic battle unfolded with intense and high-stakes combat. Human forces, driven by their recent resolve and strategic enhancements, launched a full-scale assault on the Imperial Armada. The conflict was marked by fierce exchanges of fire, with human ships and ground units engaging the enemy in a series of critical engagements. Heroic acts of bravery, such as a daring mission to disable the Armada's flagship and counterattacks that turned the tide of the battle, highlighted the courage and tactical brilliance of the human forces. Dramatic turns in the conflict, including a near disaster that was averted by a last-minute intervention, underscored the high stakes and the relentless nature of the battle. The resolution of the internal betrayal plotline came as the betrayer was confronted and brought to justice. The high-ranking official was captured and held accountable for their actions, facing severe repercussions for their treachery. The betrayal's fallout included a rigorous review of security protocols and the implementation of new safeguards to prevent future breaches. The resolution of this internal conflict restored a sense of unity and trust among the human forces, reinforcing their commitment to the defense of Earth. The aftermath of the battle was marked by a profound sense of relief and victory. The Imperial Armada was decisively defeated, and the remnants of their forces were forced to retreat. Reflections on the war's cost included acknowledgement of the sacrifices made and the impact on Earth. The victory, though hard-won, paved the way for recovery and rebuilding. The human triumph was celebrated as a testament to resilience, innovation, and the unwavering spirit that ultimately secured their survival and ensured their place in the galaxy. In the wake of the conflict, efforts to rebuild and recover were swift and determined. The devastation left by the battle necessitated extensive reconstruction across affected areas. Teams of engineers, builders, and volunteers worked tirelessly to restore infrastructure, repair damage, and revitalize communities. The human spirit shone through in these rebuilding efforts, demonstrating resilience and a shared commitment to overcoming the challenges posed by the war. The process of recovery was marked by a collective drive to restore normalcy and honor the sacrifices made during the conflict. The war also prompted significant political and social changes on a global scale. International relations were reshaped as nations united in the wake of the common threat, leading to new alliances and cooperative agreements. The conflict accelerated technological advancements, as wartime innovations were adapted for civilian use, enhancing various aspects of daily life. These changes fostered a new era of global collaboration and mutual support, reflecting the war's impact on both political landscapes and societal structures. Personal stories of those affected by the war emerged, highlighting individual journeys of recovery and healing. Many had lost loved ones, faced physical and emotional trauma, or endured the strain of wartime hardships. Their paths to recovery were marked by resilience and determination, with support systems and community efforts playing crucial roles in their healing processes. Reflections on the sacrifices made during the conflict underscored the profound impact on those who lived through it, offering a deeper understanding of the human cost of war. A new era began to take shape, characterized by a renewed focus on peace and cooperation. The victory over the Imperial Armada paved the way for a hopeful outlook for humanity's future. The lessons learned from the conflict encouraged a commitment to diplomacy and collaborative progress, fostering a sense of unity and shared purpose. This new era promised opportunities for growth and exploration, as humanity looked to its role in the galaxy with optimism and ambition. In concluding reflections, the story's themes of heroism, unity, and resilience were emphasized. The conflict demonstrated the strength of the human spirit and the power of collective effort in the face of adversity. The closing message highlighted the enduring values of courage and cooperation that guided humanity through the crisis, offering a hopeful vision for the future and reaffirming the story's key elements. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. I promise you, nothing will happen to your finger.